When I was born, I was quite an unexpected birth, and I was left in the bottom drawer of a chest of drawers because they didn't have cot or crib or anything, so they padded out the bottom drawer of a chest of drawers, and that was it. She didn't come back for about 2.5 years. In that time, my auntie took me in and fostered me. I was living with my auntie. One day, birth mother turns up at the door, knocks on the door. I've come to take the baby back. Took me straight into the adoption agency in Nottingham and put me up for adoption. And it was basically a case of, I don't want him, but I don't want someone in the family having him. From there, I went into a number of foster homes. I was quite unruly with everything that had gone on, and eventually was adopted by my parents. In 2019, my cousin passed away. My cousin Alice was my first best friend. She was 40 when she passed away. She passed away through breast cancer. While she was going through that, she was pregnant with little Teddy. Shortly after little Teddy was born, she had to give up her fight, and it hit me really hard. It still hits me now. And then we had COVID and we had lockdown, and I didn't do well with that because I'm quite a social person. And then in 2021, my best mate died from pancreatic cancer, and I absolutely spiraled. I was going out and getting in bother. I was on a crash course, an absolute crash course. I would red mist over nothing, not to other people, but to the situation around me. I do wood turning and woodworking and bits like that, and I'd be in my workshop and nothing would happen, and I'd trash the place around me and smash it up and then almost not know what I'd done. And then one day something happened, and I don't know what happened. I couldn't tell you what happened. The only thing I can tell you with any certainty is it was nothing. It will have been a nothing. I'd have dropped a screw, or I'd have not measured something right, or something as daft as that. Standard red mist, smashed everything up around me. I was lying on the floor sobbing, saying I can't do this anymore, I need help. And she'll quite happily stand here now and tell you that's the first time in my life she'd ever heard me say the words, I need help. One of my old colleagues from Royal Mail was a facilitator at one of the Grimsby clubs for Andy's Man Club and invited me there. Walked through the door with the intention of saying nothing and just sort of taking it in. And this ball started going around, not this very ball, one exactly the same as this. And people started talking and sharing their stories and sharing this experience. And it came to me and it sort of sucked the words out of me. And I started sharing and I couldn't stop and I just unloaded. So I went back the next week and then the next week and then the next week. Fast forward 6 months and Roy, who I mentioned before, and the North East area lead asked me if I'd join the team and be a facilitator for Grimsby. Gets to about mid to late 2022, and every week we've got more and more guys coming through the doors at Grimsby saying, oh yeah, I'm so-and-so, I'm from Immingham, I'm so-and-so, I'm from Immingham, and we're missing a trick here. We've got a gap here. So I approached Sean, as I say, our North East area lead, and plugged him about opening a club in Immingham. And quite frankly, he said, Stu, if you want to go with it, run with it, it's yours. So I did. And in October 2023, I opened this place. Work for multiple years before that had been very up and down. Since my crisis, someone at Andy's Man Club said, why don't you try working for someone like Navigo? So I applied for Spa. I walked through the door and it was like, so the first part of the interview is you're going to be interviewed by 4 service users. And that was the thing that hooked me. That was what reeled me in. Everything's so service user based, from interview up to board level. Everything is about the service users, and I'm not used to that. That's not where I come from, and it's such a refreshing change. That interview went absolutely fantastic. This is amazing. And 2 days later, Laura Smith rang me and said, no, you weren't successful. But there's a job opened in home treatment. How would you feel about that? We're sort of rebuilding what home treatment's all about, which is less appointments at Harrison House, more seeing people in the community, more seeing people in the homes. I sort of got introduced to this person at handover, and a lot of their issue was around social inclusion and things like that. So I put a load of work into finding some social inclusion activities in the community and encouraging them to go out and do those. which they then did, and I followed that journey all the way through to discharge. And that was the first one where it was like that was my piece of work. That, you know, really, really proud of it. The pride's ridiculous. I'm not a person that, up until a few years ago, I don't think I've ever done anything that I'd said I was proud of. I'm proud of my kids, but I didn't see that's nothing to do with me. That's them. But like the Andy's Man Club, this club, the work I'm doing at Navigo, I'm really proud of. Another member of the team, she's been with the team or been in mental health services for the last 25 years. And she told me 2 weeks ago that she's changed how she writes her care plans because she likes the way I do it better. I've got no right for her to be doing that, but she's done it. And I walked out and I ran home to tell my wife, "You're not going to believe what they said today," you know. I love it. I love it. I've never experienced a team like it. Not just the home treatment team. Obviously, we share the access office with the crisis team. We've got the doctors on our floor. We've got workforce on our floor, and everybody wants to help you. Everybody. I've never experienced that. Everyone's desperate to help you. On my first day, one of the doctors said to me, like, "I know you're in that office, but if you ever need to come and unload or you want some advice, you can come to me." And our team, we have so much fun. We enjoy work so much. Talk. And it's that simple, talk. And it doesn't matter who you talk to. It doesn't matter whether it's Navigo or whether it's Andy's Man Club or whether it's your boss or your colleague or your brother or your sister or your mother. But don't bottle it up, because that's the worst thing you can do. That's what I did, and it was nearly the end of it. So don't bottle it up.